When you go to turn that horse around, Ian, you just keep him nice and soft in that bridle and just ask him nice and steady.
Yeah, the first thing I want to do is make the softest offer I can make. So that to say when I stop, and if I want to turn one round to the right, get her stopped, and I'm just going to take her nose and say, this is the direction I want you to go. So that's first order of business. Take a nose, get a point in the direction I want her to go. Then I'm going to keep my body a little to the outside, and I'm going to turn my shoulders and torso and focus on where I want to go. Then I'm going to use my outside leg and my outside rein just to push her through here and get her to where she pushes on through that turn, staying with my body a little to the outside, and just help her through there. This is the reason we begin to flex them in the first place, is to be able to very softly give them direction. And it's not, I see a lot of people who have watched us over the years flexing our horses, and they go to flexing their horses standing still, but when they get in motion, they seem to lose the understanding of what we're trying to do. And the understanding really is just to be able to softly direct them where we want them to go. Coming back to the foundation, if anyone viewing's had a chance to have a look at our foundation series, we dealt with all of that stuff about being able to flex them, get them broke in front of the saddle here. I come back and say, in front of the saddle, I control with my hands, the shape with my hands. Behind the girth, I control with my feet. And I don't want when I pull a rein, I don't want a horse's feet to move. If I want his feet to move, I'll use my feet to get him going off my feet, or my legs, if you like. But hands are for shape, legs are for motion. Okay, you know, so we got her going left and right. You know, and she feels to me like she's traveling pretty nicely. So the other elements I want to have is I want to be able to get this mare to stop, to be able to back her up, make her feet move, take her nose to the left, turn around to the left, and lope her off out of there. Because when we come to work a cow in the camp, in the cutout yard later on, we're going to need to be able to get stopped and get turned around. She doesn't have to have a big gut busting stop, but we do need to be able to get her to get stopped. We'll stop, be able to get her backing up here, be able to get her on the back end, take her nose, turn around. She didn't turn around all that well there, so I'm just going to check her up. Have in your mind what's acceptable. If you feel like something is not acceptable, go back and do it again. We'll get her to stop, get her to draw back, take her nose, turn her around. So start out slowly, nice and smooth. Ask her to step up to the canter. I'm just going to let her go a little bit here and trust her. If she starts wanting to take over, I'm just going to double her. When I talk about doubling, I'm talking about doing a one rein type stop. I'll put that on them occasionally because they need to know how to handle that deal. Just reach on down, take this rein, use your inside leg to move that hip over, disengage them. They start getting too pushy. I want her to learn to wait on me some. Sit down, ask her to canter again. Ask her to just change direction here a little. Change direction again. Change direction again. And again. Okay, I'll go ahead and ask her to build a little speed here. Every now and again I'm going to pick up on her face, even at speed, and just check that she's listening to that bridle. If she's not, I'm going to move that snaffle around in her face until she relaxes the jaw and relaxes the throat latch and pole. She's got to learn, even at speed, when some speed's on, that she still needs to relate to the bridle. Right here, I'm just going to bump her loose a little bit because she's a little stiff in the lower jaw. Now I'm going to go to hexagon, so I'm going to step her in a little, go straight. Step her in here a little and go straight. Step her in and go straight. Step her in and go straight. In again. Now I'm going to push her back out. Inside rein, inside leg, push her out. Outside rein, outside leg, bring her back in. Inside leg, outside, inside leg, inside rein, push her out. So just keep it traveling. Have her learn to maneuver and gallop and still be thinking. Now I'm just going to sit down quietly, let her find a way down. Soften her up here, just soften her face, flex her left and right. And it's really something I feel like we need to do a lot of with the horses that haven't had that experience. They need to have some of that. This camp draft job is about taking a cow somewhere, as opposed to cutting, where you're bringing a cow out of the herd and you're trying to hold out of a herd. And as in rein cow horse, your job is to stop a cow. In the camp draft industry, our job is to take a cow somewhere. So it's always worthwhile to have a job description in your mind when you go to work your cattle. Again, even with my 4-year-olds, I want to start out slowly. I like the way, she's paying some attention to the cow. She's got her ears up and wanting to look at a cow, which says to me, we haven't overloaded the boat. We haven't got her to where she hates cattle and hates a job. And so I think that's real beneficial. So I'm going to start out the same kind of deal, just kind of trot around and just keep pointing her at the calf. Just see what this calf wants to offer us. And just ask her to follow this calf a little bit. Right here, so slow down, good. And just pick up my calf again. Just keep pointing her at this calf. This calf will come back to me a little bit directly. We can start building a process. Let it travel a little. Just keep taking it to the cow. Right here, she's being a little goofy in the face. I'm just going to rock her face around a little bit, soften the lower jaw, and just stop her here and just soften her back a little here. She's wanting to take me to the cow, and that's good. I mean, she's just wanting to make her own arrangements just a little bit. I can feel it building, so I just want her to cause her to wait on me a little. Only do as little as you have to do. Ask her up here, and I'm going to ask her to just step up to a cow a little more. Just get her up in contact with it a little more. And ask her to run the same line as the cow. And I'm just going to check her here. Ask her to soften up and check. At any time when I switch my body off or take hold of her, I want her to stay honorable to the bridle and listening to me. And I'm going to let her air up a little and relax a little bit, because we're going to want these horses to run and check and wait on us a little bit. So I want to keep her in position on the cow that I've selected for her to work. I'm really paying not any attention at all to those other cattle. Just, whoops, she misread that calf right there. That's okay. Just bring her back to the cow. Up, up, up. She wanted to be too defensive here. This is where I got to be able to ride her up here. And take some ground off my cattle. Show her how to ride up and ride up, 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 up. Here you go. Good. 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 Back over here. Keep her angle right. Good. Good. Up here. I'm out of position. She needs to get over here. Slow her down. There. Good. Stop. Good. Just let her take some air back. She's tried hard. She's been good. She made a little mistake over here, or I made the mistake. Got her a little bit too long. Got her a little out of position. Now she's got back in control of the cattle. I just want to let her sit and get some air back. And build a confidence. Build a confidence that, you know, she did a job. Let her read this cow, read the cow. Stay up. I really like the way she wants to draw back and be defensive, but I've got to ride her a little offensively up on the offense up here. Get her back here. Good. She handled that really good. Just let her sit. Did a really nice job. I'm real proud of that job for her. Good. Just relax. Now, one of the good things you can do for your horse is just relax in here amongst these cattle. Don't get her thinking that every time she comes in here, it's going to get tough. It's going to be tough. You know, so much, you know, people that enjoy working cattle, a lot of times they just want to get too aggressive about it. They like, you know, we enjoy the adrenaline flow we get from the athleticism that we get from these horses, and we seems like we want to have more and more of it, but you know, I don't want to take the enjoyment out of it for them. I'd like to be able to, for her to come in here and be relaxed and be confident that she can cope with anything that comes up. And I'd really like to be able to go to a contest with my horses and have them feel like that there's not a cow in the entire world that they can't cope with, or not a steer or whatever that they can't cope with. And the way to do that is to protect them a little bit, you know. I mean, we can't baby them forever. We got to expose them to the rigors of it along the way, but you can kind of go overboard about this stuff. So I want to protect their confidence and their soundness, and try and build a really confident unit that when you ride into this yard in front of a judge, you can ride in and be relaxed, and you can ride a horse in that looks like it's confident. You see plenty of them that go in there look like they're stressed and worried, and they've been overdone some. And I mean, having said that, this is easier said than done, because cattle are awfully tough today, and when you go in that yard, things are often, you know, there's often a lot of tension in the air, a lot of adrenaline going on. It's not an easy thing to do, but you can enhance it by, when you're at home, spending a bit of quality time with them in here, just sitting about in your cattle. Do a little bit, get some positive stuff, and try and find some good places to quit. The places you find to quit are in paramount importance here. If you can quit in a good position, in good shape, following a good athletic effort, then you build their confidence, and pretty soon they come in here flexing their muscles and thinking they're pretty damn good. You know, if you choose the wrong places to quit when they're losing something, or when you're having an argument with them about something, you know, it isn't too long and you've destroyed their confidence and probably destroyed your own. About at the start of your 3-year-old year with these babies, you know, you've had them outside as 2-year-olds and followed some cattle around, and you've had the opportunity when a calf works around the fence, or a cow works around the fence, to maybe stop them up and get them turned around a little bit, and you feel like you got them far enough along to start thinking about working them in a cutout yard or a camp yard. Your process is still the same with these long 2-year-olds or early 3-year-olds. I really don't care where I work them in this yard, as long as I get them to travel with a cow and stop and wait on the cow, wait for the cow to begin to turn around, let them draw through the turn, and turn and go the other direction. So this yard here is not quite your conventional cutout yard as such, but the thing that's really good about it, it gives you a little bit of room, and it gives you somewhere where you can work on 4 fences. So I'm not about to gonna try and bring a cow to the face of the camp and try and start holding cattle up there on these young colts at this stage. All I want to do is to get them to be able to go with the cow and stop with the cow, break off, go over here, stop, wait for the cow to get committed to turn, get through their turn and stop with the cow, wait for the cow to get committed to turn and get over here and get stopped. I want to keep it nice and smooth, nice and calm. I like the way she's got her ears up and focused to a cow, keep her attention to a cow. I'm going to try and get her stopped and wait on the cow just a little bit. There's, over the years, there's been a lot of controversy about whether we ought to be doing, rollbacks or haunch turns on these kind of horses. I prefer to get my horses stopped and ask them to wait on a cow just a little bit. I feel like if they run over here and a cow stops and they hit a turn as a cow stops, they're going to take me out of position and they're going to start making a few too many options for a cow. So I'm going to wait for the cow to get turned and step across and get stopped. Draw her nose back to the cow. I do not want her nose away from the cow at any time. My goal is for her to have a 2-eyed and 2-eared look at the cow as much as I can. Step right across here and get stopped. Bring her eyes and ears back to a cow. And now I'm going to start asking her to step up to a cow. When a cow goes lateral, go lateral, stop, draw through and go lateral and stop. I'm just going to work this cow anywhere she wants to work on these baby colts. Now again, go with the theme that we want to make them comfortable in the high pressure areas. Now you can change your position. If this cow wants to work on this fence, I'm just going to back off and I'm going to try and put her in a position, and that position is I want the cow's head about on the pummel of my saddle, on my saddle blanket, just with her head and neck outside the line of the cow. Over here, ask her to get right through her turn, cover the cow. Right through her turn, cover the cow. Now here, I'm going to change my fence and work this side fence. Stop. Back up a little. Hold a focus here to a cow. Let her sit. So you don't need to be climbing all over cattle and kicking a lot of dust and rocks everywhere. Just take your time. You don't want to make this an unpleasant place for them. You don't want to get to the stage when you ride up to ride into camp one day that this horse says, I don't want to go in there. So you want to keep it as easy for them as we can. They find out pretty soon enough that it can get awfully tough. I want to keep a little angle up to my cow, if I can, so that I'm not over rotating. Take her right over to the rail if I need to. Keep my angle slightly up to the cow. She wants to move her hip around too much, I'm just going to reach back on the outside leg, make her hip stay up underneath her, get her to relax.